Aloha. Got a guy retiring tonight. Uh, Retiring this season. Yep, yep. So it looks like his last game in St. Louis. They're all congratulating the linesman. I mean, this was really, really good play tonight. Okay, just found out from Ashley that she can't be on the post game. No problem. You got me, guys. This is Guy, the Wild Blues fan, and we are talking hockey. We're talking about the Blues and their win against the Rangers, 6-2. Solid effort tonight. Solid effort. If you got to find a negative, right? If you got to find a negative, you have to look at special teams, right? They were 0 for 4 on the power play and 2 for 3 on the penalty kill. That's not good. Here we go. We're going to get the 3 stars. Let's see who they are.
Tonight's third star, scoring 1 goal and adding 1 assist. Playing in a forward for the Blues, number 90, Brian O'Reilly.
I thought about him. I gave mine to Walman, Husso, and Thomas.
Tonight's second star, stopping 27 of 29
Husso.
New York shots. In goal for the Blues, number 35, Lily Husso. And tonight's first star, scoring 2 goals and playing in a forward for the Blues.
So I got 2 of them. I got 2 of the 3. I got 2 of the 3. I mean, they were gritty tonight. Surprised they didn't score in the third. I think they had some really good shots in the third. I thought this game would be different. Oh man, this thing is all messed up. Blues had 35 shots, 29 for the Rangers, and then I got to go look at my other thing for the. Let me see if I can get the shots. So the Blues had 10 shots to the Rangers 4 in the third. That's good team defense. That's keeping the puck away. I mean, for a team that was down by 4 goals to only take 4 shots, you're never going to win a game that way. You're never going to come back. So they did a great job of keeping them out. Let me look up here real quick. So Rangers had 29 shots. Husso stopped 27. They had 10 that were blocked, and they missed 11. They had 27 hits, 4 giveaways, and 14 takeaways. That's something the Blues have got to work on, getting the puck taken away from them. They blocked 13 shots. So the Blues took 35 shots. We know they had 13 blocked, 9 misses, 18 hits. So they got out hit tonight, but that's okay. They played very well tonight. 5 giveaways, 5 takeaways. Got to work on them takeaways. You need to have more takeaways, and you got to work on not giving that puck up, right? I mean, they gave it up. What was it? They only gave it up 4 times, right? And you gave it up 5. But they had a lot more takeaways. Block shots, they blocked 10. Face-offs were 30-20, so they really took a hold of the face-offs, and that's one of the part of their game that's been lacking lately is face-offs, right? Power play, they had 2 goals, or Rangers had 2 goals on 6 shots. Blues had no goals on 5 shots. Let me see here real quick. Let's pull up the game summary here. Okay, 5 versus 5. Let me make sure I get the right one here. So the Blues scored all 6 of their goals 5-on-5, so they increased that. Rangers gave up 6 goals 5-on-5, so now they're a negative. 4-on-4, neither team gave up any goals. The Blues really scored the 1 6-on-5, but because it was a pulled goalie, they don't count it. They count it as 5-on-5 because it's the even amount of players on the ice. The Blues just really had a solid game tonight. Shurskin only played even strength 14, 18. I mean, he just played a little bit of the second, right? Shorthanded, another minute there. He was on the ice for 20:04. So he played 4 seconds of the second. Gorgiev did, played almost 40 minutes. He was pulled for a little bit there, but, he did a decent job. I think he did a decent job tonight. Gave up 2 goals on 8 shots in the second and no goals on 10 shots. So he was 2 for 18. Shergergin was 4 for 17. For me, the Blues had a good, solid night. Oh, no, it's okay, Ashley. You got to do what you got to do. Take care of them. Take care of them. We love you. All right, so my co-host isn't with me today. Dale Kirk. Dale, welcome back. Hoping 18 would get the extra point for the touchdown. I was too, because he's on my fantasy team, and that hat trick would have really helped me out. Considering my goalie didn't get his shutout. I had Forsberg, but Forsberg got the overtime win, so that helps me a little bit. I thought this was, guess the talking worked somewhat. No, I think it did. You know what? But for me, I want to know how many guys. So you look at this. Yeah, it was a great game, Tilo. Great game. You look at this game, and like, do you think the Blues defense was really any different in this game than they have been in other games? Right? And oh, I know. This is one that I'm in, that it's real solid hockey fans for the most part. It's a league where it just keeps going. It's a continuous league, a keeper league, they call it. Got invited to it this season, and I just loved it. It's been a lot of fun. Right? Scandella played well. I think it wasn't just Scandella. Parayko played well. Scandella played well. Walman played well. Mikkola, I think, played well. That 5-minute, that fight was solid. What did Mikkola's time on ice end up being? Mikkola ended up with 10:48, so he got some good time in the third. Most of his was even strength, and I get that. But I see him getting better time. Walman only ended up with 6:28, right? And a goal. I mean, in 6 minutes of play, he gets a goal. I thought Walman played very well. He averaged 55 seconds a shift. Mikkola only averaged 36 seconds a shift. So he was more in the defensive zone than the offensive zone, I think. I didn't see, and Mikkola was the only guy that wasn't a plus minus. He was even. But everybody else was a plus or greater, and you had Colton Parayko at a +4. I mean, you add this game, I think Parayko ends up being a plus player for the season, right? And he was. And at one point, he was like a -20 or 24. He was down there, and he's gained it back. And this is why I've never thought that the defense. Oh, I know it is. But I've never thought the defense was the issue that everybody thought it was, right? Never did. I've never once thought that it was that issue, right? I don't know why the show is not showing on, and maybe I got to refresh or something, but it looks like the show's not showing on YouTube. I got it on there, but YouTube is just a pain in the ass to me right now. Yeah, for some reason it's not showing, right? It's showing just there we go. Now it's showing. I got to play it to make it show. See, that's not right. It should just automatically show up, but it doesn't. I don't know what's going on. But here, at least now you guys got it. No, I thought Scandella played well. I thought I thought the defense played just as good tonight as they have in the past 4 games, right? The difference tonight was the offense. You score 3 goals in the first period, and that changes. We got you there, Tad. That changes everything. It absolutely changes everything, and it forced the Rangers to get aggressive, and the Blues took advantage of that aggressiveness. Where they didn't take advantage of that aggressiveness against Ottawa because Ottawa scored, right? Hey, Maddie, how you doing? Maddie, sports for you and me. Tonight I did a I don't know. I think they're still going to go in a rotation, Dale. I really do, because neither one of them has played bad. I mean, Husso played great tonight. I'll admit that. He played great tonight. First goal was probably on him. I know it was a one-timer, but you look at his pads, and I think that he could have gotten his pads down a bit. Maddie is a friend of Travis Partington of Oscar Mike Radio. He's seen my interview tonight. If you go to Oscar Mike Radio, you look on my page, the Guy Benson page, you'll see the interview. And Maddie wants to interview me for his podcast. I love it, man. I love it. It'll be fun, man. And I appreciate that, Maddie. Thank you so much for wanting to get in there and see us. Dale, I get what you're saying. I really do. But on the surface of things, right? On the surface of things, while Husso made some great saves, and he did, the Blues overall played a pretty good game. The offense did make some mistakes that allowed to those breakaways. But the defense played well, and the offense, you make those scores, it makes those saves look bigger, right? It really does. And you know, to me, the one he made with the one he made in the first period, that was more of the shooter missing than it was his save, right? The other saves was him forcing the goaltender or the shooter to not to be able to shoot. Right? Well, thank you. That's just a small collection of mine. The jerseys are hanging, the back is a wallpaper, but I do have all of that stuff. I just don't have it in that configuration anymore. Since I moved, I had to change things, but that's what I got. He's also was the 38th goalie in NHL history to have 300 or more wins and tied for 38th all-time in NHL wins with former goalie. Who are you talking about there, Brian? Cam Anderson. Okay, I missed that. Getting his 300th win tonight. Well, congratulations. Or Craig Anderson, congratulations. The Blues did themselves a favor tonight. They picked up, it was a 4-point game for them. They picked up 2 points on the Colorado Avalanche, who lost 2-0 tonight. They got shut out for the first time all season, I think. Right? So the Blues are one of the few teams that have not been shut out. Right? I don't think the Blues have been shut out. I know the Blues haven't been shut out this season, and they weren't shut out last. I don't think they were shut out last season. It's been like 70-something games, so maybe early in the season. But they are playing very well with that, and they are scoring goals. The offense, when it scores goals, you're going to win. Well, thanks, Maddie. I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot. Hey, guys, I'm Guy the Hawaii Blues fan. This is the BlueNote Fan Report on YouTube and Twitter. I'm not going to talk about Facebook anymore. You can find me on Twitter at HISTL Blues Fan, right? Showing across there at STL Fan Report, HISTL Blues Fan, and at Blue Note Report. I got 3 of them. My co-host, you can find her at No One Can Hear You, and at Slapshot Jones. We each have a couple accounts, and that just makes it better for everybody, right? We appreciate everyone, and thank you for watching, and thank you for sharing the show on your Facebook page, on your Twitter page, and all of that. I was tired because I can't type. I'm with you there. I know how that feels. T, I know how that feels. We made it hard for the Rangers to get opportunities for them to take shots on goal. When they did get opportunities to get shots on goal, Husso made phenomenal saves. Aaron, absolutely, bud. Absolutely, that is dead on, my friend. Dead on. Right? And dead on, I'm with you. Cam is the 6th U.S. goalie with 300 or more wins. Thank you, Brian. Let's take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Brought to you by my friends at JP Fields. When you need a meal, go to JP Fields in Clayton. So let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. So these are the finals. Florida beats Philadelphia. Oh, no, a little bit further. Okay, here we go. Get them all. Okay, here we go. Boston beats Chicago 4-3. Buffalo, in Jack Eichel's return, beats Buffalo 3-1. Jack Eichel said in the post-game conference, that's the loudest this building's ever been. It only took them 7 years and me to leave to finally get it. I love that comment, actually. Arizona trumps Toronto 5-1 or 5-4 in overtime. Seattle loses to Ottawa 4-3 in overtime. Minnesota gets past Detroit 6-5 in OT. Philadelphia loses to Florida 6-3. The Jets get ahead of New Jersey 2-1. Colorado loses to Carolina 2-0. The Islanders shut out the Blue Jackets 6-0. Good game for them. The Blues beat the Rangers 6-2. Nashville goes up 4-1 on Anaheim. Good game for them, our next opponent, so we'll both be coming off wins. Currently, Calgary is beating the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-1 at the end of the second. And the Sharks are up on the Kings 1-0 with 14:02 to go in the first. Let me look at something here real quick. I'm trying to pull up the standings and get hopefully the newest standings. The Bruins beat the Blackhawks 4-3. We talked about that. Good win for them. I actually, Maddie, I did an article for 4Plus Hockey, and I ranked my top 10 Stanley Cup contenders, and I left the Bruins off. I just don't. I think that the East is just, the top is just too strong. That I don't think they get past the top two, one of the top two in the East, and I don't think that they're going to get one of those top three spots. So I think they're going to be a wild card. That's my thought process on them right now. And I can't wait to interview, because I got some questions to ask you about Marchand. I really want to ask about that. The evidence actually announced Ben Sherratt trade to the Avalanche, which didn't happen. It was an awkward and embarrassing moment. He probably looked at some fake account out there, and there's a lot of them. You got to be careful with those accounts. I always look for the @ When I see something like that, I look for the @ I click on the account, because that tells me so much, right? All these teams, their @ have their name in them, and you can tell that they're official. So I'm very careful with that. Very, very careful with that. And you know what? If I'm the Avalanche team, I go to ownership and said, what, you don't think we can win the cup on our own? Yeah, that's what I figured, right? That's what I figured. You got to be so careful with those. So careful with those, right? I'm very, very careful with those, to be honest with you. I watch them heavily to make sure that that I don't put out information that's not bad. You know, but it's, for me, how can you like him for what he does? He disrespects the game so much, right? All of that, all the good he does to me. You Maddie, I think you were ex-military. You remember that saying, one aw shit ruins 1,000 attaboys, right? He has so many aw shits that none of the attaboys should matter anymore, right? None of them should, in my eyes. But I get it, Boston fans. You want to love your players. Seeing 6 goals was the norm tonight, which I would still play Husso at Nashville and 50 at Winnipeg. You know, that's not a bad suggestion, right? Both goalies are playing well right now. Both goalies are playing very well. I think that's a fair assessment, Dale. I really do. I think that's a very fair assessment to play Husso there, and Nashville, especially since Nashville's a later game. The other ones are early games, so it might be a little bit better. Oh, well, thank you. No, no. Okay. I thought you were military, but I appreciate that. I did. I served 20 years in the Navy. I retired, and I talked about that on guys. Please check out the podcast from Oscar Mike Radio. Give me a second. I am going to try and pull something up. Let me see if I can pull something up for you guys. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Let me get over here. Yeah, Husso had a really good game. Okay, so let me go here. I want to bring up here we go. So please go to this page right here, Oscar Mike Radio, right? Let me bring the page up. So here's the page, Oscar Mike Radio. Oh, I'm not putting it on. You guys aren't seeing it yet, are you? Nope. Okay, add to stream. There we go. Okay, here's the page, guy. It's Oscar Mike Radio. As you can see, he's got me on the front there. Brian, I do too, bud. I wonder why he's supported the way he is. Maybe the locker room loves him, but, secretly they got to hate what he does, right? So here's the page, Oscar Mike Radio. If you scan down, I'm the new post. Me and him did a full-on, no, actually, no, that's Ryan. So mine isn't up yet. It should be. I don't know why it isn't. Here it is. There we go. There it is. So it's not his pin post. It's his new, it's right here. And he talks about, what I did. Oh, I love the countdown clock on that. I hadn't seen it before. That's pretty neat. He's a retired Marine, or not retired, but a former Marine, right? Got some stuff. Please check him out. And maybe hopefully this will bring me some writers or some. I'd love to get the Fan Report media group, the St. Louis Fan Report and the Fan Report media group up and running again. I really, really would, and I'd love that. The Nashville game, Saturday's the morning game. Yep, Dale, that's right. The Sunday game is at 6 your time, 1 p.m. my time, because I'll be 5 hours behind you. My goodness, I was too many points on the Bruins, and we have a 2-hour show between our shows. No, I do. So, Maddie, what I do is on game days, I do a pregame show, two intermission shows, and then a postgame show. And the post-game show goes 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how many people are watching or what the comments are. And then on off nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, I do what I call the Hockey Fan Report. I do it on the same channel. And that we kind of talk about everything. We talk about the Blues. We talk about what's going on in the league. Some nights I miss the Hockey Fan Report, but I try and do it pretty regularly. It's a fun thing to do, and I really enjoy it. Right? Yeah, Husso played great tonight. He was absolutely wonderful. See that one there, to me, if he gets that up, he's got it. Panarin's that was a great stop. He forced Panarin to go wide. Same thing with the other stop where the goalie tried to pull the Tarasenko move, and he was just on it. Right? Check out the webcast for me, guys. I would really love that for Oscar Mike Radio. Get him some views. Great guy, man. Travis is great. Oh, we'd love to have you on our show, Maddie. And I'd love to do your show, man. Let's, if you want to come on tomorrow night, I'll do the show at 8 p.m. Central, which would be 9 p.m. your time. You're more than welcome anytime, my friend, anytime. You can still be an agitator and not get suspended as much. Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. For me, my issue with Marchand comes in, like they showed this play last night that he did where he was going after, it looked like he was playing the puck, but he bends down and reverse hits somebody, hits a guy that was coming in on him. My issue with that is that Marchand never played the puck. The puck was near him, but he never played the puck. that should have been an interference call, right? Because he prevented a player from getting to an open puck, right? And I'd love to know what Matty thinks on this. Because now, if he plays the puck, the hit is fine. The hit is legal, right? But he doesn't. He doesn't play the puck. He skates over the puck. His stick never goes down on it. He backs right into the guy going into the puck. That's interference. That's classic interference, right? You cannot hit a guy that doesn't have the puck. And he did go in for the hit. I'm sorry. That to me was an interference call, right? And should have been an interference. It absolutely should have been an interference. I don't try and show plays because it usually gets me tagged, but you can go look for it on Twitter. I'm sure it's on. It was all over the place. But because and now a lot of players that would have done that, it would have been nothing would have happened, right? I mean, it wouldn't have. It would have been seen as a really great hit, right? But I think that it also would have been an interference. It's still an interference, and that's kind of my issue there, right? He doesn't play the puck, and that's a huge mistake on his part. You have to play the puck, and he doesn't, right? He does not play the puck at all. So that's where I am on that with that play there. But Brian, our Matty C, anytime you guys want me, and let me know. I'll take time off. I did it for Travis and his, and I loved his. I loved it, and I'd love to get more just regular hockey fans, because I do see. This is the thing. A lot of Blues fans only watch Blues hockey. And I don't. I watch as many games as I can. I watch what's the show called? On the Fly regularly, and I watch it 2 and 3 times so I can see what was going in, right? I think he's been a dirty player since he came into the league. I mean, you can find that all over the place. I don't remember that play, Matty. I'd have to go back and look at it. But I'll tell you one play that I would love to discuss with you is the so-called Bortuzzo trip, right? I talked with a former referee about it, and he disagreed with me. But to me, he thought it should have been a trip. But I think there's something missed. You got to watch that play. Bortuzzo plays the puck before the Boston player falls over his stick. You're allowed to play the puck, right? You're allowed to play that puck. And that's the difference thing, right? You can get away with anything if they don't call it. It's human error. Refs can't see everything. I agree with that. But, there's things. Well, look at what the refs did the other night in Ottawa, right? A couple of incidents in Ottawa. First of all was the matching minors that shouldn't have been matching minors, because there was a cross check first. It should have been the cross check. That should have been a cross check and then a roughing for both of them, right? And not only that, look at the money he's lost from games that he plays. He's lost more than that just in games that he plays, right? The fines aren't nothing. It's what he lost in games played. Robert Thomas had a great game. I was hoping he got that, what do you call it? The hat trick, man. I was so hoping, but this game got out of hand. And that's the funny thing. They still took 10 shots in the third. Right? They took shots. And this is how you prevent a team from getting shots on goal. You keep it in their zone. That's the best defense. In hockey, the best defense is a good offense. Right? That's not true everywhere else. Right? That's not true in other sports. Right? That's not true. But in hockey, It is absolutely true. Absolutely true. The best defense is a great offense. The better your offense is, the more time you keep the puck in their zone, the less time they have to take shots or to get open or to set up. Absolutely. Marchand has amazing talent, just abused. But you got to look at players like Tom Wilson, dirty, but a guy who's tough, puts pucks in the net, and an all-around player, Wayne Simmons. Yeah, Tom Wilson is dirty, right? And he doesn't have the talent of Marchand, and that's what makes Marchand worse. That what makes Marchand worse to me is he has all that talent, and he wastes it. He absolutely wastes it, right? Absolutely, in my eyes. Well, some of you guys are still around. I got Dale Kirk and Jason Nichols watching on YouTube or on Facebook, and thank you for that. Got 6 of you watching on YouTube. I appreciate it a lot. You guys make me happy when you can watch. And when you do watch, I love it. And thank you, because your opinion, guys, is just as important as mine and Ashley's. It absolutely is, right? And that is, I think a lot of teams wish they had O'Reilly's, right? Oilers and Islanders prove that. Yeah, right? I mean, really, the better your offense is, the better your defense is. The last 4 games, all the pundits out there were saying this team's defense is bad. Well, you know what? It wasn't. It wasn't bad, right? It was not bad. What was bad was the offense. The offense was not. No, well, you're on YouTube now there, Jason. Oh, on YouTube. Okay. BlueNote Fan Report. Yeah, BlueNote is one word, Fan Report, right? Or search Hawaii Blues Fan. One of those. You should be able to find it that way, bud. Let me see if I can throw it up here. There we go. Let me show that for you. There you go. It's just like that, my friend. Absolutely just like that. All right? The way it shows there, that's how it is. Fighting for that same, maybe isn't leaving after all. Vladdy did something a couple of nights ago that really surprised me a lot. And it concerns me, not that he did it, but the reaction, right? After Thomas made a mistake, Berube yelled at Thomas on the bench, right? And Tarasenko got on Berube and said, no, you don't do that. No, we don't do that, right? He stood up for Thomas. Now, Berube said he loved that about him. It showed he was a team player. However, when I hear that they were yelling and telling somebody not to worry about getting traded, just play hockey, I don't think that that was Tarasenko, because I think Tarasenko was playing hockey. I absolutely think he was. I think he had 2 points tonight, right? He's been one of those guys, and especially in that game against Ottawa, he just got robbed 3 straight times, right? He got robbed 3 straight times. Flyers are not so good. Whatever, they need a total rebuild. Yeah, but I think the Flyers are going about it wrong, right? I think they really are. I think they need to look a little bit differently at how they're going about it. Yeah, Jason, that's what I just talked about. And okay, now I don't believe Berube was happy about that at all, right? I don't, and that concerns me. Berube's on right now. Let me kind of listen to him. They went to work all night. Yeah. I agree, Jason. I absolutely agree. Hey, man, hook me up with those insides, man. Maddie, I need some insides. Glad he's back. No, I'm with you, Jason. I absolutely am. Talking about Torpachenko. The torpedo is what I call him. He's talking about Torpachenko, saying he did a good job. They're happy with him, so he could be staying up for a while. Right. He's talking about the. Okay. They're talking about the 7 defensive rotation. They did hold it really good. They said that Bozak's sickness came up in. Oh wow! Oh wow! That's surprising. That sucks. Brian, so why does the NHL have an award for best offensive defenseman, but not defensive defenseman? Well, they do have. Well, okay, I see what you're saying. They don't really have an award for the best offensive defenseman. They call it the best defenseman. However, it normally goes to the best offensive defenseman, and it shouldn't. I think it really should go. Well, what they do need to bring back is the plus-minus award, right? I really think they should bring back the plus-minus award because that usually shows you're good defenseman, right? Oh, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'm with you there. He pushed the wrong button. The good insiders. Hey, man, I'll take whatever insiders I can get right now. I do have NHL press access, but I don't have any team access. So, there's some things that I can get to. I probably could have gone to the Winter Classic this season if I wanted to. I just had I couldn't afford it, and I know, and that was why I didn't go ahead and put it out there. But I know if I would have put in a press pass, I might have gotten it. So I'll look at it that way. That's why I feel like some defensemen are overhyped because of offensive numbers are great, but then their defensive stat are not so much. Yeah, but Fox is a good defender. Fox is a two-way player, so I see why he got it. Bergeron wins the offensive defenseman all the time. Should be the Bergeron award. No, I don't think so. Bergeron hasn't won offensive defenseman for. I don't even think they have. They don't have a one that is an offensive defenseman, right? They just have the only one for a defenseman is the Norris Trophy, if I remember right. Kane is now tied for second all time on Blackhawks in points. He is tied with Bobby Hull for second in points. Very nice, very nice. I appreciate that, Wendy. Blackhawks had a rough game tonight. Lost one in regulation, 4-3. We talked about that a little earlier. The Blues did well tonight. The Blues came out and did what they needed to do, and now they got a tough game Saturday morning, right? Morning time for me. The game's on it. My show is at 7 a.m. Saturday. 7 a.m., 11 a.m. Central Time, noon Eastern Time, right? Pre-game show. It'll just be me. Ashley will be working. She should be here tomorrow unless her kid's still sick. But, hey, that is what it is. You do what you got to do. And we appreciate Ashley anytime she can come on the show. And we appreciate each and every one that likes you. Selkie. Oh, he's won 4 Selkies. Okay. I don't think that's the record, though, is it? I don't think that's the record. I think someone's won it more, right? Some offensives forget that they are defensemen and try so hard to score points and play like a forward that they get out of position and end up not doing so well defensively. Yeah, I think also you have Falk, who is a good. You have see that's the one thing with Falk and Krug. I hope you get it soon, buddy. Bob Gain, he's tied with Bob Gain. Okay, thank you for that knowledge there, Maddie. Appreciate it. We do too, bud. We do too. We miss you, Chris. We really do. Where are we at? Wasn't a rough game. It was close the whole game. It was terrible refs and a bad bounce of the puck. The refs lately have not been good in some games, and I admit that, right? But to hear the Colorado Avalanche when they lose 2-0 complain about the refs, I want to look at something real quick. Just if you guys give me a moment, I want to look at how many penalties they were in that game, right? Because I'm curious right now to what that turned out to be. Buffalo, Minnesota. Here it is. Let's go to Game Center. I'm going to pull it up now and take a quick look at it. I don't know why Chrome and the NHL.com don't like each other, but they don't. They don't like each other at all anymore. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. See. So there were 8 penalties. Colorado got called for 5 of them. And Carolina got called for 3. Colorado got called for 4 of them in the one was a misconduct, so I don't know, and that was in 1908, so that wouldn't really count. Tay slashing at Tocchet at 14:42, at 7:44. Hazim high stick. Kadri high sticks Niedermeyer. Kadri commits all his penalties. Tyson Yost cross-checking against. Yeah, I don't see these. I'll have to go back and maybe watch the game, but I don't see them as that bad. And if you're that upset, that's on you. I'm not there, man. I'm not there. That's for me, guys. That's for me. I'm all for offensive defense. Sometimes it's impatient, but to get to the end of the day, they're still defensemen. I get that, Brian. I get it. That Matt Dumba incident against the Red Wings today was so dirty and uncalled for. I didn't see it, so I don't know, Brian. I'll have to go back and try and find it on Twitter or something so I can take a look at it. Guys, remember, you are what makes this show a show. Without you, there is no show. So your comments, your remarks, your opinions, that's how important they are to me. So I really appreciate you coming on the show and doing that. We're still working on trying to make this a call-in show. We might get it there someday. No, he is. I cannot stand him, right? And I have some very negative views towards him. I got called out for saying that he shouldn't say anything about somebody's else penalty not being strong enough, right? And that was and unfortunately, here's what it was. He said that incident in the Czech League, that the guy got like an 8-game or suspension or something like that. That league needs to do better, right? Well, you know what? For somebody, the guy appealed it. And for somebody who's appealed every one of his suspensions and who blatantly put an elbow in a guy's head in clear open ice, how can you, and I don't care what the incident was, that's the thing. How can you say anything about somebody else's penalty not being strong enough? You've created penalties that you shouldn't be in the league. You've tried to ruin people's careers, right? I'm just not, and if you want to say that it's a racist thing that I said, fine. It's not. It has everything to do with Um, it has everything to do with your play, right? How can you say that somebody didn't get suspended enough? You've appealed all of yours, and in all actuality, now look, this in the spirit of the game, okay? In the spirit of the game, his penalty could have either killed someone or ended his career. Now, what the other player did was egregious. I admit that. But it didn't come anywhere close to ending someone's career. And that's the way I look at it. So sorry if it upsets anybody. I really am. I've been blocked by so many people because of my opinion on him. But, it is what it is. Again, love Kadri's game, but he's doing so many dirty things that makes more focus. I mean, well, he's the same as what do you call it? Marshawn, but this year is the first year that he's shown any talent like that. Right. And Jason says it's not racist. There's trash of all colors and beauty of all colors. I absolutely agreed with that. We decide who we want to be. I absolutely agree with that, Jason. Thank you. And I hope I didn't scare anybody off with my Kadri stuff. I apologize. I do apologize if you take offense to it. It was not meant to offend anyone, right? Not meant to offend anyone, right? It really wasn't, right? Now that they're showing the replaying the game already. Wow, Bally Sports, that was quick. I love it. Kadri's ended, cross-check so many people into the boards, almost ending their careers. Yeah, and that's something that needs to be looked at. And, well, Marshawn, too, has gone after so many knees trying to end careers. And that's why my issue is with Marshawn, right? He blatantly goes after people's knees. In fact, I did an interview, and I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty sure it was with Chris Butler. And Butler had said that Tarasenko had come into the locker room and said, if that MFer goes after my knees one more time, I'm taking him out. Right? It was, and I love that about Tarasenko. I love it. And he stands up for himself and he stands up for his teammates. But also the fact that Kadri tends to get even dirtier in the playoffs when your team needs you. Yeah. I'm kind of with you there, right? Early replay, so I'll get to watch it a little more. I might try and write about tonight. I have a poem I'm supposed to do that I really haven't had a little issue trying to write. But maybe I'll come up with something. And, sometimes it's hard. The writing bug hits you differently, right? Usually when I write post games, they don't get read that much. So I'm not on there, but I really do know I need to write something and get something out. Yeah, I've heard that, Brian. I haven't seen enough of it. I need to watch a little more to pay attention to that. I do follow Player Safety on Twitter. Agree, guy. He's sloppy, no doubt. Marshawn isn't making any sense. Yeah, and that's what I'm with. 57 is a dirty player, but Hero is the right, but Hero's it the right way. Love him. I don't think he's a dirty player. No, I'm sorry. I don't think Perron's a dirty player at all. Right? I really don't. I mean, he's a gritty player, but I don't think anybody would call him dirty. I don't think anybody in the league calls him dirty. Right? I think the only player that the Blues have had recently that people thought was dirty was Pietrangelo, right? And the other thing that they said about Pietrangelo was he was soft because of when Jamie Benn sat on him and put the glove in his face, right? He should have got up and just nailed him. Yeah, I don't think 57's dirty at all, right? Rafi Torres isn't playing anymore. I love it, Brian. Great quote, man. There's a difference between gritty and dirty, right? There really is. And like Perron I don't think Perron has a lot of penalties, right? And I don't think he's been suspended, right? I really don't think he's been suspended. Calling Perron dirty is like calling Paul Correa dirty. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I just don't see him being dirty. Man, they chased the guy with the most wins and the lowest GAA and the highest save percentage in one period, period in 4 seconds. That's saying something tonight, guys. That is absolutely saying something tonight. When you can put up a 4 spot in 20 minutes and 4 seconds, right, on the best goalie in the league, you gotta love it. You gotta love it, right? I think the Blues just had an amazing game tonight. I hope that it continues with I hope it continues with yeah, that's right. They did do that, but then they kind of lost their game after that, especially in the third. When the game got out of hand. But no, I'm with you there, man. They ended up giving up 4 in the third. One was an empty netter. Kind of one or two of them were on Husso there, but for the most part, they buried him pretty good. So that's the thing. But I don't think the Rangers they're going to be a playoff team. I don't think they're a contender, right? And one of the reasons I don't think they're a contender. Maddie, go to STL Fan Report and look up my article on player safety. I call them the dopes. I did it a while back, last season, when a lot of things was going on. And I also wrote one called Hit a Blue, Get a Thank You, right? From last season. You might want to check those articles out for me. Right. I'd appreciate that. And then we can talk about them if you want. There are games that worry me. They're practicing. They come out and do this to the best teams. Well, they gotta play hard every time. JT Ramirez, welcome, my friend. Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I'm your host on the show that is by a fan, for a fan, and about you, the fans. Your opinions are just as important as mine, my friend. No disrespect, but Robert Bertuzzo and Oscar Sunk are a bit more dirty than David Perron. Not saying they're dirty players, but they are compared to Perron. Definitely. Yeah, they're not dirty players at all, right? I mean, they're both gutsy, but they're not dirty. Now, I know Bertuzzo has been suspended at least once, and I'm pretty sure that Sundqvist has been suspended at least once. So I think Sundqvist got suspended in the finals, really. The Rangers mainly good because they got Shiesty. Yeah, I agree with that, bud. Oh man, he's chatting up a storm. I mean, he's not afraid to take on anyone. Okay, and James Neal. James Neal's not dirty. I've never thought that the real deal was dirty. They do need to play every team like they play the best teams. I agree. I think we should bring James Neal back up. The problem there, JT, I don't think that's a bad idea, but I don't think it's a good idea either, right? One of the problems is it's who you send down. And right now, if Neal is only going to play on the fourth line, play 10 minutes a game, I would much rather young guys get those 10 minutes, right? I know he's playing good. He's playing good down in the AHL. I know he is. He's had a hat trick or two. He's won a couple of games, had some game-winning goals. I know he is, right? But in the overall scheme of things, he was only signed because we had COVID and injuries. Once those injuries were done, we had no place for him, right? And that's it. Okay, well, here's the thing. Right now, if you send guys down, I think you can send. McCachran has to clear waivers. I don't think McCachran clears waivers. Torpachenko is waiver exempt, so he can go down. Brown has to clear waivers. Brown doesn't clear waivers, right? So who else do you send? right? McCachran now has 100 games. You can't send him down without clearing waivers anymore, right? And there's a good chance at this time of the season he doesn't clear waivers, right? And that is not I mean, you don't want to make that mistake, right? I think Neal and Walker are going to be much better for the playoffs. They're going to be guys that you can move in the playoffs if need be, right? They can go on the Black Aces. They can go on the 23-man roster. Salary cap doesn't matter in the playoffs. It doesn't exist. I think that's going to change. I really do think that will change in the next CBA. That it's going to have an effect, right? On the 23-man roster, I think it's going to change. You know what? I honestly don't know. Brian, I'd have to go look at both of those players to see. I mean, I remember Nathan Walker's hat trick. I mean, he scored more goals in that one night than he had in his entire career in the NHL, right? I mean, he is a good, fast player, and he's got grit. He plays very gritty, right? I love Walker. I absolutely love Walker. Well, it is, but he's also, you got to realize no team wants him, right? No team wanted him. They put the real deal on waivers. Nobody picked him up, right? Nobody picked him up. That tells you a lot. That, to me, that absolutely tells you a lot. No, he doesn't. I mean, he's got 6 goals in like 30 games, right? I mean, I can look it up real quick for you. Let me pull up Hockey Reference real quick. Looking for my Hockey Reference. Nathan Walker, here we go. So Nathan Walker, career, he has 34 games and he scored 7 goals, right? 34 games and he scored 7 goals. He scored 4 goals this season in 9 games played, the hat trick and 1 other goal. So he had 3 goals prior to this, right? He's played in 34 games. He's played in games for Washington, Edmonton, Washington again, and then he signed a free agent with St. Louis. He's played 22 games with St. Louis, right? He has 8 points, 6 goals, and 2 assists, right? He had 1 goal with Washington in 10 games and 1 assist, 2 points. So he's got 10 points over 34 games. I think it's it's his age. It's basically his age. I mean, because he's cheap. He's cheap, and it's his age, and that's what it comes down to, really. If Neal plays in the second line with Perron and Shin, that's a good line. He's not fast enough. He's not fast enough anymore. Nathan Walker is an underrated player when it comes to physical depth. Yes, I agree with that. Forward can play decent two-way game, but not as much a scorer and a very good AHL scorer, although he is an impatient player, though. Important player, though. I agree with you, Brian. I agree with you exactly. Right? Agree with you exactly. Right? I really do. Okay, guys. Wow, man. 10 guys stayed through the show. I got to tell you, man, I appreciate that. We're getting people following us. JT, I know you're new. Please like the channel, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe so you'll know, and hit the bell, and make sure you say always so you know when we're coming on. We do a pregame show 30 minutes before game time. We do both intermission shows, and then we do a post-game show 30 minutes to an hour, depending. And then we, unfortunately, his age, he has not aged well with his legs, and I think that's the issue, right? That's the issue with him. He just really hasn't aged well. And yes, I love that Walker's from Australia. I have a lot of Australian fans. Yes, JT. I was born in Maryland Heights. Joined the Navy at 18. Spent 20 years in the Navy. When I retired, I was here in Hawaii and got offered a job. Kind of grew roots for a while, but I do look forward to coming home sometime soon. I really do. I think my time in Hawaii is winding down. Right. That's at least how I feel. And thank you, sir. I appreciate that. But hey, man, follow the show, man. I think you'll really love it, JT. And check out stlfanreport.com. I know I haven't done any writing in a while, but if I can see the people are going to the site, maybe I'll start writing again. Yeah, I've been here a long time. I've been here since 2004. Right. But I miss St. Louis thoroughly. I was just home back in August and September. Got to go to the Blues alumni camp. I know a lot of the alumni. They've been on the show. I've done interviews with them. If you check out my channel, you can see the interviews. You'll really love them. I've seen you on Instagram. Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. Yeah, I think I'm not sure what my Instagram is. Right. But I appreciate that, JT. I really do. I do go by the Hawaii Blues fan. That's my nickname. So that's what I go by. And you'll see it here when I pull this down. You see it there, my title there. I do go by that, and that's what I use, the Hawaii Blues fan. And that's how a lot of people know me. So I appreciate all of you guys. Have a great night. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying aloha mahalo. And you got to know that I'm bleeding blue with you. Aloha.